Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM, brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And I tell you what, we've been kind of featuring Shelby McCall as we've gone along here. And, there ought to be some kind of song for turkey hunting. I don't know what that means. I don't know if there's turkey in the straw.
Turkey, 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 turkey.
There you go. She's going to sing instead of play her trumpet there. So, all right, we got Daniel Stanfield on the line. Daniel, can you hold off for just a minute? Because Gene Smith's going to do us a pun. Right, Gene?
Oh, yeah, I got one.
Here it comes. Go, Gene.
These two older gentlemen was out walking, and he said, did you walk yesterday? He said, Wednesday? He said, no, it wasn't very Wednesday. It was Thursday. Well, okay, let's go get a beer.
Or a Coke. Or something nutritious. Maybe a Gatorade. So, anyway. All right, Daniel. Dave Gabbert's listening in. If you say something I don't understand, Dave will pipe up, so to speak. But let's talk about it. We're closing in this weekend. We'll have, 2 more weekends. Let's see. That's
correct.
That's correct. And the season will end. I looked at some figures on Thursday just to see a little bit about what's happening. And as I said, Tuesday night I was up at Bolivar for the Tennessee Outside, and Bubba Spencer had some figures. We are about 7,000 behind, or give or take a few, I think, Daniel, for the state. But I was kind of interested in West Tennessee. We had a delayed season opener for Shelby Forest and all those counties along the river. And so I don't know if that played a factor, and I'm sure we missed a couple of weeks there of not being able to hunt, but then there were conditions that maybe you couldn't do it. So talk about that first. Is that a one-year deal? Is that a one-year deal, you think?
Well, it is, but what everybody's got to realize is last year, we had such a high harvest. It's hard to judge everything off of last year's. Some people refer to it as the COVID season because everybody was in the woods, and they were in the woods the whole season.
Yeah.
And we did have a very high harvest, and you're correct. The numbers, when I looked at it the other day, statewide down are about 7,000 birds from this time last year, if you compare it.
All right.
And then also West Tennessee, we're down, I think I looked at it Thursday as well, about 64, a little over 6,400 birds, which at that time last year we were about 7,200 birds. So we're down about 800 in West Tennessee.
Do you think that's
a lot of that could be due to the counties along the Mississippi River not opening up for 2-week delay there?
Yeah, the 2-week delay, and also I know there were some tickets given out because I've talked to some of the guys that I think there were more warnings this year, maybe that. But I'm looking at some of these figures as we talked through Thursday, and even the big numbers. Counties like Murray County, 973, and they were like 1,200 last year. So it's not, we can look at that and say, man, there was a lot of people, but I know we sold a lot of license too. So
we did.
You could look at the plus side and the other side, but I'm looking at Region 1 numbers here that I'm sure you've looked at too, and I don't know where we're down in those and where we're not down, but the figures I have is that Henry County is still leading it like four. No, let's see, Hardin County. No,
Hardin County, about 4. I think I look at 487 birds in Hardin County.
That's right. Yeah. So talk about the season itself. Has there been a lot of? Have you heard gobbling still going on? What have you heard from the hunters?
Yeah, I've heard. I've got my network of hunters I talk with, and it's kind of just depending on where they're at and where they're hunting at. There's some of them are still hearing gobbles and able to get on the birds on up in the morning. Some of them are still henned up. If you got a big population of turkeys, it's taking a while for them hens to get bred. So most everybody I've talked to have had success, in the middle of the day.
In the middle of the day
or early afternoon when they catch them gobblers by themselves.
Where do you think I'm going to be today and what time? I'm going to be in the middle of the day in Hardeman County, where I looked at the figures for Hardeman County, and I want to add one more bird to it today.
Add one more. Well, maybe you'll get one today
if I can, and everything. And hey, Dave, what are you hearing out of your county up there at Lexington? Have you heard any reports from anybody?
Well, just some of the guys I know it's turkey hunting. It's been a little slow there at the first, but since since it's got a little warmer and the weather's gotten right, they've done a little better, mainly because the vegetation has come out a little bit and they can conceal themselves a little better.
Well, that's best for me. I'm a real good concealer. I told people I don't run and gun anymore. I just gun. So
there at first, before a lot of the leaves and stuff come out, turkey could see you pretty good ways off.
Yeah. Well, and that's what we've had some weekend rains. We did have some cold spell. We had a pretty good a late freeze just about in there, but and I know we're back with this season closing, I think, on the 17th. So folks are still out there today, and if you're like me, I've talked to other people that I really think it's not been a bad season. We just can't compare it to last year.
You can, and that's absolutely correct, Larry. What you need to look at, from a biological standpoint, we try to base everything off averages. So when you look at the 5-year average here in Tennessee for this year, even though it's been down compared to 2020, we are still above the 5-year average on regional harvest, statewide harvest.
Really? Okay.
Sportsman's hunt, all of that.
Yes, and that's a basic, because last year was while it was a year we were trying to get, we'll never forget, it was also a year of a lot of people discovering the outdoors. So
that's right.
You look at that, and particularly, I think, turkey hunting. It's a sport that I think that you can spend a lot of time in the outdoors, and you don't know what you might see or what you might hear. But at the same time, I can tell you, I know 5 people that have never hunted before till last year, and now they're eat up with it. So that's just the way it is. Again, we're talking to Daniel Stanfield, TWRA out of Region 1. Talk a little
Daniel.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard, and we'll switch gears a little bit, we was talking about with the strange weather, we had a couple of freezes in there. Talking to the other wildlife guys across the state and stuff, do you think it bit the mass crop any?
Yeah, good question.
Absolutely it will. Yeah. We'll see effects of that, this fall, when you're not going to have as large of a crop this year and even next year, even on some of the different varieties of oaks.
So
try to get them food plots in. It'll be very beneficial for the deer hunters this year.
Yeah, I noticed the last 2 or 3 days the oaks seem like they're a little late this year, flowering, dropping a lot of their little stamens I talk about right now. So, maybe we lucked out on that, but
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. I don't think it affects us in the West that much, but probably the further you get the middle and up on the plateau and up in the higher elevations of East Tennessee, they might have got bit pretty good. Well,
I know we've had 3 straight days of pollen alert, and one of them was for oak. So that means I'm glad I'm taking my allergy shots. But hey, you mentioned food plots, and let me ask you. And I had a couple of friends. When do you start your? And I can answer, but I'd rather come from you. When do you start preparing your food plots for the fall?
Well, it's kind of going to be dependent on what you're wanting to plant. If you're looking at if you're looking at getting food plots in or sunflowers for dove fields, a lot of our WMA staff is doing that right now.
Right now, okay.
Getting it in that way. Your sunflowers will be up and dried out, and then starting to head out good, and getting them doves on bait, or not on bait, but on the crop there in first of September, and then. Corn, if you're going to plant corn, most of the guys around here in West Tennessee try to go with, that 1st of June, that first week of June by getting it in. And then you get into some, the landowners and the hunters that want to put in these fall plots for deer
Yes.
for bow season or early rifle muzzleloader. You can hold off that into, August, September.
Okay.
Depending on what you're going to plant, whether you're planting winter wheat or you're planting brassica or rape or clover. It's just going to be dependent on the area.
August,
that you're
September.
in,
We have that early season now. It seems like we deer hunt year round, just about, Daniel. The velvet hunt, the CWD hunts, and I understand now Henderson County is now part of that now. Part of our.
Well, it's going to be. It's a recommendation the state's got, and the
Okay.
commission will vote on that this next month here.
Okay,
but,
all right.
If going by the CWD regulations, it'll probably be added in as well.
Well,
there's
that's
a high risk.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring in, because right now, folks, they're looking for comments. They're looking for comments for the 2021 hunting season regulations. They were made in April for the Fish and Wildlife Commission. You have until May the 14th. Okay, That's what you got to get those things in. So go to tnwildlife.org, look those things up. If you got some comments, these guys listen to you. I know they will. So do it. Daniel, thank you, man, for being with us. Always good. Now I've got your real number. So if
there you go.
If I get in trouble, I'll let somebody know. Thank you, Daniel Stanfield.
All right, see y'all.
buddy.
Have a good one.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Thank you, Dave, for sitting in on that with us. Are you okay? You want to keep? You want to hold on, or you want to call you back?
I'm probably call me back about for the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, I want you to be with the kid at the bottom. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. The 7-year-old. You may have to interpret it. I'm not sure Gene can. So. All right, Gene. We'll keep you on the line. Dave, we'll call you back later on. So let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We'll be right back.